It's Michael Yale Silver with Michael Leslie Investments. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something that broke yesterday, some news. It was about Robinhood. Robinhood's a stock that's a lot of people are paying attention to. A lot of people are enthusiastic about this stock and its recent movement. But we want to talk about what happened. It was, Friday, yesterday, July 18th. Today's July 19th, Saturday. So we wanted to talk about what happened. Robinhood's been on a huge tear. It's up. It's a triple 3x if you got in on it when it was on a dip, but it didn't get added to the S&P 500, and a lot of people thought it was going to get added to the S&P 500. So it was actually down a little bit, down 1% after hours. But for the people that have been in this for the long haul, like we have, we've been, or at least for a year or over a year, we have a big return. A lot of people have a big return on it. To follow up on our last episode on this channel, we were thinking about, what happens with, what do you do with Robinhood? If you've been in it and you have a 2x on it, or you even got in on the dip and you now have a 3x, do you take it out now? Or in the previous episode we were talking about how we were going to take it out. The plan was either wait for earnings. It's getting value to where close to where its intrinsic value is. It's getting value closer to where it should be. You measure it up against some of the companies it's valued with. There's some big ones. We mentioned Nike in the last one. It's like, is Robinhood, a stronger company than Nike? I don't know if it goes that far, but it's at least where it should be right now. So the question is, we were saying, do you want to wait till September 5th when the shakeup with the S&P 500, but then what happened now? Now there's concerns because what happens if it doesn't get added to the S&P 500, especially because Block, which is a fintech stock, was the one that got added yesterday. So it's like maybe Robinhood is in disfavor by the committee that picks, and maybe you'll be waiting for the September 5th, and then it doesn't get picked again, and then it loses 3% that day. So it's almost like so our reasoning now is for when to sell. If you've been in it for a while, you want to take profits. You don't have to sell all of it, but we're recommending waiting till earnings. They've been doing well on earnings, and then selling on earnings because if something's a miss on earnings, or it's not what is expected, and then it goes down 5%, maybe wait a couple of days for a rally. But we're not telling people to wait much past that, because what happens if something happens with Trump and with tariffs and the new tariffs that he's mentioning. If things go back to if things start lowering again, and we go back to what it was like around Liberation Day and all that was happening then, Robinhood, those types of companies, SoFi, the investing platforms are going to be the ones that fall the fastest. So it's time to get out, but you don't have to get out. You don't have to take all your profits. There's still room to grow with Robinhood. I just don't think it's going to grow at the same rate it has been for a while. People, when they see the momentum, the meme stock lovers, they think it's going to go on for forever, but that never happens. We've been through that one with GameStop. They called it mother of all short squeezes, or whatever the terminology was, and it never. And those ones never truly, meet expectations. GameStop came the closest to meeting expectations, but then also a lot of people lost a lot of money on the way down. So the other thing I want to talk about is the people who weren't in it and want to get in now. What's the strategy there? And the strategy is you still can get in. It's just you can't get in with such a high percentage. You can't have your portfolio 10% in Robinhood right now, because we're getting closer to its intrinsic value. We're not, 10% would have been a good move when it was, down a lot, with tariffs and with everything that's happening with the economy back in March or April. Those months, it would have been a good time to have maybe 10%. You're buying the dip, you're buying at a low, and you're waiting for a rally, and you're waiting for a jump. But now, if you want to get in, and you do believe in the Bitcoin thesis, and you do believe in the all the other crypto advantages they're having, and you do believe that more investors are getting in the market, it's still a good time to get some capital appreciation off Robinhood. We still like the stock. It's still probably going to be in our top 50, top 60, somewhere around there. I'll have to see. I'll have to see where we have it, where we have it a value compared to some of our other stocks. But you're not going to get as much of a return as you did if you got in a year ago. But and one more thing to mention is there are competitors that are stealing the Bitcoin, the crypto. They're adding that. There's Webull and there's SoFi. Both have reintroduced crypto. SoFi's later in the year, maybe two or 3 months, but that's going to take a hit off of Robinhood earnings. I mean, I expect a good earnings report, next week, but it's going to slow down. And these other apps are popular too. SoFi is a very popular trading app. Robinhood's been on top they really captured this audience, but now as any competitive advantage, people catch up, people copy or they're copycats, and now there's a lot of people doing the same thing Robinhood does. So it's not gonna, if Robinhood was the only one doing the crypto and nobody copied, then I could see it up at 200 within 6 months or 7 months, just the same ride it's gone on right now. But that's not the case. And then the last topic I want to bring up is you still want something in one of these growth stocks, whether it's SoFi or Robinhood. I think SoFi is the play now because they're introducing crypto. So, but you still want something that if the economy keeps moving and there's people investing, continue to get into the market, you definitely want one of them because they're going to grow faster than the market. It's just like, and if you're a long-term investor, you want the ones that are going to, 10 years down the road, they're going to increase your wealth, faster than, if you're in like a Johnson & Johnson, yeah, it's going to grow, but 10 years down the road, you expect a SoFi or a Robinhood to grow faster. And so you still want to be in one of those ones that you're betting on the economy. So that's it for today. We have an article, as I said, coming out about Robinhood. If you're still interested and you want to know when to buy or when to sell, or you just want to know more details about how we were able to pick that one and how we knew it was going to grow so fast. We've been in it for a while, so just it's a good article to read. But go to the site michaellesleyinvestments.com, and there's a lot of different strategies that we've implemented for the next year. Thank you.